Fine cars and drivers are on hand for the first of 3 races outside of U.S. borders for the FARC Lowe Series, and we have 6 Mexicans in today's field, eager to take on the FARC regulars, and a few of them will be in tomorrow's TM Mexico Series race here. The fastest qualifier of the locals would be Mexico Series phenom and Master Cup Series rookie Marco Diaz-Castañeda, who rolls off 6th in the Team Timothy 68 car. However, our competitors have a huge challenge ahead of them, as it has been raining heavily all weekend. Duckroll Tires is, of course, prepared for these conditions, as they bring rain tires to road courses and flat ovals, such as the clockwise oval configuration the FARC cars will be running here at the Mexico City Autodrome. Not only would it be a downpour on race morning, but heavy fog would surround the track, meaning visibility is extremely limited. Kurt Walker was among the car owners, suggesting that the race should be postponed until conditions improved. However, FARC will have very limited track time thanks to sharing the facility with TM Mexico, so officials pushed ahead with getting the race started, but a very nerve-wracking challenge lies ahead for the FARC Lowe Series competitors as we go trackside to bring you the highlights of the Tesoro Treasure Trove of Taste 100. Daniel Sharp and Michaela Perry-Jones would drag race down into Turn 1 with Kelly Splicin right behind them. The field drifting through the first couple of corners, but they make it through cleanly. But of course that wouldn't last, as Splicin goes off the road, as well as Ben McClellan and points leader Hunter Blaze, and we have a pileup on the front stretch coming to the end of lap 1. Paco Martinez in the number 06 car, one of the local entries, would get a lot of heavy front-end damage from piling into the back of the 71. The caution would not come out for this, though, as Martinez became the first casualty of the day, but we did get a caution on lap 3 heading into turn 1, as Xavier Ruiz, making his first start for his brother Timothy's team, got run over by Patrick Ashcroft coming into the corner. I'm not sure if there happened to be anything going on between Ashcroft and Ruiz, but if you're mad at somebody and want to take care of it, now is the time to do it, as long as you have the excuse of poor weather. But Hunter Blaze, again our points leader coming into this race, would go out with a blown engine under this caution, as well as Henry Santos, former Lowe Series winner, now Team Mexico regular, making a start in today's race. The craziness continued immediately after the restart, as Mason Yokoyama gets some help from Grant Carsons going into turn 1, and Taylor Matthews not only got a piece of that, but she was swept up in another incident coming back to the yellow that involved Ben McClellan again, Sergei Yakovsky, and John Burr. McClellan and that small Lemoyne and Cook team traveled all the way here to Mexico to make their first start of the year. But not only are they going to go out of the race, there were some unapproved parts found during pre-race inspection, and they're going to get slapped with a 50-point penalty. Although we had a couple incidents down in Turn 1, Turn 4 would be a nightmare for most of these teams. The flooding is really bad down there, and that would be the source for most of these cautions. There's Taylor Matthews going out of the race. She lost the points lead after ABQ, and obviously she's not going to get back up there today. Mauro Adachi has outlasted Blaze and Matthews, his 2 points rivals, but even with all of his experience in rain racing from Super GT competition, he would get swept up in quite a few accidents. FARC veteran Anthony Griffith was able to lead more laps than just about anybody else, but as you saw right there with his spin that took Xavier Ruiz and local entry Jose Antonio Martini out, even he was not immune to turn 4. Indeed, that corner would shuffle the running order so much and tear up so many cars that if you only saw the statistics, you would think this was a super speedway race. It took well over an hour to reach the halfway point, and we weren't close to done with all the madness afterwards. Grant Carsons and Anthony Griffith would find their way back to the front, but Anthony Griffith runs Carsons wide and off the road in turn 4. There's Keegan Mallory in the number 6 for David Hetzel, smacking the wall right behind him. If you thought the locals, who are most familiar with this track, would fare any better than the FARC regulars, you'd be wrong. This is Luis Jimenez in the number 37. He is the last remaining Mexican driver, but he's going to get back onto the lead lap and back into contention for another caution in which Grant Carsons ran off the road. Carsons fell a lap down, but you just saw his teammate Michaela Perry-Jones smack the wall behind him to bring out another caution, and he is in front of new leader Patrick Ashcroft, so he's going to get back on the lead lap himself. Todd Stater would get shuffled to the front, but he immediately threw it off the road and will hand the lead to his teammate Keegan Mallory, who spent most of the race a lap down. In all the chaos, David Bloom has gotten up to 12th in the Team Burr entry. Bloom failed to qualify for the first two races, but finished 16th at ABQ. His teammates John Burr and Bobby Dwyer had a very costly race there, mostly because of Dwyer's over-exuberance, but the team has not only regrouped, but they have made it all the way to Mexico, and with everybody falling out around them, both Bloom and John Burr are practically guaranteed top 15 finishes. It's honestly been a hell of a start to the season for Team Burr by their standards, but Bloom goes off the road again right in front of leader Keegan Mallory to bring out a caution, as Mallory was pulling away from the field in what became the longest green flag run of the race. Mallory, looking for his second FARC win, now has to face another restart, as Grant Carsons would be the only taker on pit road this time. But he might be onto something, as the duck roll rain tires were wearing out very quickly during that run. Luis Jimenez made it all the way up to 4th after his problems, but he has a breakdown coming to the restart and will lose all of that track position that he made up. And this is exactly what Keegan Mallory did not want to see, as Patrick Ashcroft gets a huge run on him on the restart. Anthony Griffith sits there in 3rd, looking to make a run on the 6th car himself. And the amount of tire wear for these duck roll rain tires is going to become very clear as the field rolls through 3 and 4, much slower than they were during any run previously. But just as we were hoping to get another multi-lap run in, pole sitter Daniel Sharp runs off the road and smacks the wall after making it back up to 4th, and he gets clobbered by Mauro Adachi, whose team owner Kurt Walker was petitioning to get this race postponed. Adachi would drive away from the wreck, but his engine gave up under yellow, just as he thought he was going to survive all the carnage. After 16 cautions, the end of the race is finally upon us as we get a one-lap shootout. Patrick Ashcroft rockets away, along with Todd Stater, who is 1 lap down. I'm not sure why he's racing the leader, maybe trying to help out his teammate Keegan Mallory, but Mallory got off to a really poor start. But it looks to be all clear for Patrick Ashcroft, coming onto the back straightaway. Patrick Ashcroft, the rookie with his family team, trying to get their first win in the series since they started in 2016, but look at Grant Carsons coming all the way up to 2nd place down the backstretch. Those fresh tires are really paying off for him, and he's closing in a hurry. Todd Stater goes off the road in turn 4 and hits the wall, but Patrick Ashcroft survives, and he will come across the line to take his first FARC Low Dollar Series victory, finally bringing an end to the most torturous FARC race in recent memory. And I bet there will be more booze pouring than the rain, as this race took over 2 hours to complete.